Okay, today we're doing the Excel Basics assignment. This is a review for any of you who have already had some Excel. So type what you see in the cells I have typed here in a new worksheet. And yes, do misspell February. You don't have to misspell it like me, but be sure you have it misspelled. Then let's right click on sheet 1 and rename this to series. So Excel knows a lot of series. So here we're counting by 1, by 5s, by -10. Here we're doing the days of the week, either the entire day or the whole, the abbreviated, and the same with the months. And it doesn't matter which ones we start with. And then I did one date and the day after that, one date and the week after that. And then my misspelled February. So now we can highlight, we'll just do 1 and 2 first to start with and bring it on down. And you'll see that little tiny gray number on the side. So I'm coming down until that says 20, which is row 20, and it's going to continue to count by 1. So that's why we need 2 cells that have that started. Otherwise, it's just going to copy that same thing down. So now we're going to highlight all the rest of these and bring them down to row 20 at one time. And so now you'll see it knows the days of the week, it knows the months of the year, it goes in order from wherever you started. However, on this January, February, because it doesn't recognize February, it just sees those as 2 words, and so it continually copies those down. Now if we hold I and J, highlight those, and go to date, long date, those pound symbols again mean I need more room, so make it as wide as it needs to be. So this one where I did one day and the day after, it goes one day at a time exactly like I did. And here when I went 1 week, it goes 1 week exactly like I did. Then I want you to copy just the cells A1 through A20, or the numbers 1 through 20, copy, come down a couple rows, and go to the down arrow and paste, paste special and transpose, and say OK. So it flips them. They were vertical, now they're horizontal. If I had copied something, if I copied this row now and pasted again and did transpose, it would put them back to vertical. So it's just nice to know if you've typed everything in the wrong direction. You don't have to retype it. You can simply copy and transpose. Now let's click on the plus and make a new worksheet and rename this one to absolute relative. And so in here I'm typing increase, and over here I'm doing 3.00%. And then we'll put annual salary and salary with raise. So here we're going to start with 10,000, come down and do 15,000. Whoa, I still have 150. Then grab those two and bring them down till we get to 85,000, and we can go to currency and no decimals. So now we want to know what the salary would be with a raise. So we can do equal, click on the 10,000 times parenthesis 1 plus, and click on the 3%, and that is correct for that one. However, as I bring that down, you'll see I get some strange numbers. I get pound value, I get huge numbers. I don't want to do that, and the reason it's doing that, if you look at this recipe, this formula, A4 times 1 plus C1, if I skip down to the last one I copied, A13 times 1 plus C10. But our interest rate is not in C10. We always want it to point to C1. So to get it to do that, I'm right in front of the C1 and I hit the F4 key, and it puts a $C $1. Now you could actually hand type those in too, but you do want those dollars in front of both. Leave them like that. I'm going to go ahead and toggle through the F4 key, so it goes dollars in front of both, dollars in front of just the row, dollars in front of just the column, and nothing, meaning relative. So again, make sure you end it with the $C $1. Then copy that on down, click on this one, and click on the Format Painter, and do that. And that one's completed. that worksheet. We're not quite done. Now we're going to do one more, and some of you who've had me before have done this one before. So this is the multiplication table. So in this cell I'm doing a 2 and a 3, then I'm grabbing the 2 and 3, going over till I get the little gray 12. Then copy that, come down here and do the paste, paste special transpose, and now it switches the other direction for us. And this is the times symbol. And we can center that one and make it slightly bigger. And then we're going to make this information and this information all bold. So now what we want in here is the formula. So this one would be equal B2 times A3. This one would equal B2 times A4. And I'm going to do 2 more, and then I want you to look at them. This one equals this one times this one, and this one equals this one times A4. So I'm going to switch to the formula view. So you'll see that each formula is slightly different, but what I want you to do is look at it and see what remains the same and what changes. Put those dollar signs in front of what always remains the same, not in front of the other items. So it will be a mixed reference. Before we had in this last example over here, we had $C, $1. We'll just have the dollar in front of one of them. And then once you get that correct formula in there, and mine is not correct, but once you get that correct formula in there, then you can copy it down and over, or over and down. You can't go both directions at once, but obviously mine is not correct. So please figure out what that formula is and put that in and do that. Then we're just going to do some formatting features to make it look nicer. So highlight those two again, do a background color that you like, but I can read. And take all of these columns and make them a little bit narrower, not super narrow, but it makes it a lot easier to read. Then I'm highlighting all of it. Format cells, border, I want the thick border, the outline. Then just highlight this inner grid and do the format cells, border, do the thick line again, outline, and then do the thin line and do the insides. Just makes it easier to read. But be sure you put that right formula in there. And so this bottom one should equal 144, but I do want to see that formula in there. Then save that and submit this to Excel Basics. Thank you.